Hi, Tony here from a very chilly Views from the Man Cave today, and it's part 3 of the Bonneville T100 build. We're going to concentrate on the back end. The T100 is a classic looking bike obviously, but the back end is a little bit Kim Kardashian, and not everybody likes that, so we want to get this slimmed down a little bit, and I'm going to be using the bobbed aluminium rear fender. So there you go, that's the fender that's going on. It comes with the captive nuts to mount up underneath, and you can see that's going to make quite a bit of difference. This is an unfinished part, so if you're going to mount a rear light on here, you will need to drill this at some point. Right, okay, that's got my ugly mug out of shot. Anybody that's got a T100 knows how to remove the seat. You've got the 2 bolts that fit under the back here. These are already taken out of here, so we can just lift the seat off, and this exposes that big metal rear fender. Huge light, huge indicators. If you like the classic look, it's great, but it is pretty cumbersome. As I mentioned before, this bike has been messed around a little bit with already, and so the rear wiring for the lights had already been removed, but it is quite straightforward. You've got a connector block at the back which you just unplug, and these wire down and through and under. You can just take the whole piece apart, but that had already been taken off. But again, not a difficult job to do that. And when it goes back on, I'll be using one of the Motone rear wiring harnesses to get this back together. Now, to get the rear fender off is very easy. You've got 2 bolts here, and you've got 2 bolts under here, just hiding underneath these electrical connectors. All 4 of these are T30 Torx head screws, so I've just got a little T30 ratchet, and then it's just a case of undoing these 4 bolts. I'm not going to make you sit through this, so let's cut to the point where we get to the last bolt coming out. Okay, we're on to the last bolt, so I'm just supporting the mudguard from underneath because it is heavy. Well, it's not that heavy, but it's heavy enough. If you just take that bolt out, it's going to pull away, and then boom, all of that can come away in one piece. That's the huge back end. The front mudguard for some reason is plastic. This one is metal. You are saving a huge amount of weight by taking that off. Now obviously the fitting then of the Motone bobbed mudguard is just the reverse of that. As I say, use the same bolts, pop it up underneath, line the holes up, screw it in. It's that simple. So as you can see straight away, this makes a huge difference if I compare to where the original one would have bolted, which is there. It's shorter and much neater. You're going to save a hell of a lot of weight, and I'll just show you what a difference that makes when the seat goes on. There you go. So again, we're going to be changing this seat, but you can see already big difference, much cleaner, much shorter, much neater, much lighter. So I'm probably going to go with the Bates style rear light from Motone. I really like these, really nice, discreet but bright LED tail light, and it's going to be quite a straightforward fit. Once you've determined where it needs to go, it's just going to be 2 holes drilled in the fender, and obviously I'm going to do that before the fender goes off for paint. However, I'm not going to do that until we've decided on what seat is going to go on here. Once we have got the position of the light worked out, we'll work out what we're going to do with the indicators, whether we mount them off of the top of the shock, or I've got some under seat brackets. Now initially when I was going to do this project, I was going to do kind of one part at a time to create a big series of videos to show you how to do each individual part. In actual fact, now I'm going to run this more as a project. So you're still going to see each individual part fitted. There might be times when this bike gets torn apart a little bit more, and we do bits and pieces as we go along. The original airbox is going to come out, so as soon as I get the Motone battery box, we're going to do that, and that's quite involved because to get that factory airbox out, we've got to take the back wheel off. We'll probably end up dropping the shocks off to get the swing arm down out of the way to be able to get this out. So there's quite a lot involved in that. Whilst we're doing that, we can do things like the shock mounts side panels. We've got a rear disc relocation bracket to go on. The tank has got to come off because I've got one of the Motone replacement tanks. We'll get all the back end sorted as much as we can, and then we'll concentrate on the front end as we go through. So if you've got any questions or comments, just put those down below. Again, thank you for your support on these videos. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care, ride safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.